A lot of people that are addicted to pornography and homosexuality and addictions of drugs and alcohol and all of these things, they end up paying a big price.
Yeah.
They end up losing their marriage.
Yeah.
What does your wife think about the new man?
Well, the first few days she was skeptical, but she could tell the Lord was doing something. And it was within a matter of weeks that she began to recognize that I was walking as a new person, that there was a transparency, a vulnerability that she had desired in our relationship for years, realizing that this cancer had been really taken out from me. This cancer of pornography and lust and sexual sin had been removed from our relationship, and she began to see the health, the transparency.
Tell me just briefly what the revelation was.
Well, like we said, like a Saul to Paul transformation is overnight. Like Jesus said, you'll know the truth will set you free. He didn't say you'll know the truth and you'll have a long process of getting free. So there was a truth that came into my life, and the truth for me was my identity in the Lord, who He sees me as, who Jesus actually thinks that I am, rather than living under my self-perceptions, living under fear of man, living under, all the different pains of life of trying to live well and do right and trying to live up to rules. The Lord actually came in and brought grace into my life, and that grace transformed my identity.
Well, I have to ask you something. I hear a lot of people teaching grace, and they may understand about sin, but they don't talk about it, and it's an unbalanced message as a result.
Yeah.
Is grace a license to sin because God loves you so much?
So this is the same thing that Paul dealt with in Romans when he said, shall we go on sinning then? And then he responds, by no means. See, the point of grace is not an excuse to sin. See, grace is an empowerment not to sin.
That is powerful. Grace gives you the power to walk away from pornography, to walk away from being an alcoholic. I like that.
Yeah, I was really hit when I saw this verse the Lord showed me in Titus 2. Verse 11, it says, the grace of God has appeared and brought salvation. And that's the grace most of us know about, basic salvation kind of grace. But the next verse goes on and it says, a grace that teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, to have a grace that empowers us to say no. That Titus 2:12, grace empowers you to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions. Gluttony would be a part of worldly passions, a desire for food.